Let me share with you something from the other side concerning RJC and something we've been talking about over the last year or two. We've been calling it America from the Inside, and it's targeting the Japanese who are coming as tourists to the United States and Canada. I first became interested in this because of an article in the New Yorker magazine that was sharing of a travel agent, a Japanese travel agent in New York City. She shared in the article that one of the things that Japanese tourists often ask is, where can we eat with a typical American family and just have a family meal with them? The travel agent went on to say that there's nothing they can do. They don't have the contacts. They are not able to provide this. I said, wow, here is something that churches and Christians would really be excited about, sharing their home for tourists. A second part of the background of our interest in America from the inside, while we were church planting in Japan, we would often find that people who went to Europe in a tour group often came back, or perhaps occasionally came back with interest in Christianity and the Bible that they didn't have before. They were asking questions about the Bible stories. And it sprung from their visiting the museums and the cathedrals, the Christian cultural background there in Europe. And they came back asking, what does this mean, the cross and all of that? However, people going to America, I don't think I ever had anyone come back saying, what about Christianity? They came back talking about Disneyland, Las Vegas, Grand Canyon, but very few opportunities. So those two things kind of sparked an interest. What would happen if we could channel some Japanese tourists going to the United States, connect them with American Christians? One typical nice experience we had with one of our English students at Tokorozawa. She was going to Vancouver. She wanted to bring her junior high school student, a non-Christian family, but wanted to expose her to Canadian and American Western culture. She had lined it up all by herself, and when I heard about it, I said, hey, we know somebody in Vancouver. Would you like to have this person meet you and maybe take you to your hotel, give you a quick tour around Vancouver? She was interested. I sent an email out, and she connected with Robert Brown, and he met them and gave them a little tour and brought them back. She never forgot that experience of hospitality. Still not a Christian, but she made some really significant steps towards Christ. Well, getting back to America from the inside, wouldn't it be exciting if we could get even a small portion of the hundreds of thousands of Japanese who come to the States, connect them with some kind of a Christian hospitality experience, perhaps a meal, perhaps a pickup at the airport, perhaps a experience in Christian hula in Honolulu, or a surfing lesson led by a Christian, something, or a tour of the Mall of America by a Christian living in the area. But that was kind of the beginning. We started out saying, what about Hawaii from the inside? And then as other people expressed interest, we began to say, well, let's broaden and call it America from the inside. To make something like this work, it seems like there are several components. One would be Japanese churches or Christian missionaries in Japan who would be aware of this service. And secondly, there needs to be a website or some place where people could go. They could click on, say, Minnesota. What are the offerings that I could experience if I go to Minnesota? Well, right now we have somebody who lives very close to the Mall of America, and she's pounding on the door and saying, "We want to host Japanese coming from Japan to the Twin Cities to give them a little tour and a very casual witness for Christ." Well, here's somebody coming from to Minnesota, or perhaps they are in business or a student. They would click Minnesota, find the address and a brief information of the service that could be provided, and then send an email to them saying, "I'm coming at this time or that time, and what could you do?" So people in Japan to be aware of this. Number two, a website of servicing information distribution. And thirdly, obviously, a core of people in Hollywood or Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Seattle, various places where tourists come. And to try to connect them would be a very helpful ministry opportunity for the kingdom of God.